This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, it's really a remarkable zchus. I've been here in Padua a number of times. I was never zocheh to get into this location. It's a tremendous privilege to be at the Kever of literally one of the most mystical figures in all of Jewish Italian history, perhaps in all of Jewish history, Rav Moshe Dovid Valle. Rav Moshe Dovid Valle is considered the primary disciple of the Ramchal, although he's 10 years older than the Ramchal, and some say that he originally was the Ramchal's Rebbe in Kabbalah. Now, the Ramchal ultimately surpasses his own Rebbe. We mentioned the Rabach. The Ramchal's original Rebbe, Rabbi Shai Basson. Rabbi Shai Basson is a son-in-law of Rabach, Rabbi Binyamin HaKohen, who's the chief Mekubal in Italy. But even the Rabach ultimately comes to the Ramchal and recognizes the Ramchal's eminence in Kabbalah. Rav Moshe Dovid Valle has a very important role in the Beis Medrash of the Ramchal. You could read in the official Takanos. The Ramchal's Beis Medrash had official Takanos. If you look in the letters of the Ramchal, Igeres Gimel, page Zion, that there were two members of the yeshiva that were appointed to be mashgichim in the yeshiva, and they all signed the official charter of the yeshiva. So in the Ramchal's official charter, the first signature, Rav Moshe Chaim ben Yaakov Chai Lutzato, Ramchal. Number 2, Rabbi Kusiel Gordon ben Yehuda Leib of Vilna. Kusiel Gordon of Vilna? Kusiel Gordon of Vilna came to Padua to study medicine, to become a doctor. We're going to learn the Ramchal didn't want to keep him in the association. How could you have someone studying medicine being part of the yeshiva? The Maggid came to the Ramchal and he said, no, he should stay in the association. The Ramchal said, could he continue to go to university? Yes, he should go. He should continue to study medicine, the Maggid said. And the third signature in the charter of the Ramchal's yeshiva, Rav Moshe Dovid Valle ben Shmuel. When the Ramchal left Padua, because what we mentioned yesterday, because of the Cherem, Rav Moshe Dovid Valle was the Mamala Makom of the Ramchal. Rav Moshe Dovid was probably the most mystical in all of Italy, if not the most, second only to the Ramchal. Now, there are two Svarim the Ramchal wrote in tandem with Rav Moshe Dovid Valle. It almost boggles the mind. The names of the Svarim are Sefer Vikuach and Sefer Pu'ula. Sefer Vikuach was written to be Mesakein Mechiras Yosef. The Ramchal and Rav Moshe Dovid Valle wrote a Sefer to Mesakein Mechiras Yosef. Not only that, there was a third partner in the Sefer, the Shechina. They joined the Shechina in the Sefer to Mesakein Mechiras Yosef. And in the Sefer, they were trying to correct all the Chatam that were done from Adam Harishon ad Hayom Hazeh. Next Sefer, Sefer HaPu'ula. We could use that Sefer. Sefer HaPu'ula was to destroy all the Sonei Yisrael and to rebuild the third Beis HaMikdash. Now, Rav Moshe Dovid Valle writes, many neshamos would visit him, seeking tikkun, and on Tes Vav Elul, the Aseres Hashvatim appeared to Rav Moshe Dovid Valle, asking him for tikkun. Now, he said at his 26th birthday, his soul began to illuminate. In the secret associations Ramchal had, he brought in Rav Moshe Dovid Valle and they would try to bring the Geula, and they would play a role. They would act out. Unbelievably, Rav Moshe Dovid Valle, his role was to be Mashiach ben David. The Ramchal's role would be Moshe Rabbeinu. So the Ramchal was Moshe, and the Ramad Valle was Mashiach ben David. He wrote 7 volumes of polemic in Italian. But between 1747 and 1752, Rav Moshe Dovid Valle wrote more than 1,800 pages of Chiddushei Torah, al HaTorah, that is in manuscript form in the British Museum. Reb Chaim Friedlander, Mashgiach of Panovich, together with the Yid Yosef Spinner, they procured these manuscripts, and that's why today we have many of the writings of the Ramad Valle. I'm going to give you a little taste for some of the Chidushim of the Ramad Valle. He says there's 2 kinds of intellect. There's Chachma and there's Bina. Chachma is knowledge. Bina is the ability to extrapolate. Lahavin davar mitech davar. So the Gemara debates who's greater, Sinai or Oikar Harim. Someone who has wide-ranging knowledge or someone who has intellectual prowess to be able to distinguish and differentiate. Says Ramat Valle, in Sfardim, they have Chachma. That's why the greatest Chacham who ever lived was the Rambam. Maybe that's why Sfardim are called Chachamim. On the other hand, Pilpul is not for Sfardim. Pilpul is for Ashkenazim. Says the Ramat Valle, why? Because Ashkenazim come from Germany. Germany is in the north. The north is the left side. If you're left-brained, you're sharper. So that's why Ashkenazim are sharper. But Sfardim have Chachma. Says Rav Moshe Dovid Valle, what about Italkim? They have nothing. But if you come from Yerushalayim, so you're in the east, you have Avira Da'ara, and Ein Chachma K'Chachmas Eretz Yisrael, you have both qualities. Next, says Rav Moshe Dovid Valle, Christianity was predicted in prophecy to Rivka Yimenu. How? Rivka was told, listen to this Ayam Anayra, Rivka was told, Virav, the older one, Yavoid, will worship, so Yavoid will serve Tzoyer, the younger one. Literally, Esav will serve Yaakov. No. Virav, the older one, Esav, Christianity, Yavoid, will worship Tzoyer, a Jew. Hear this? Virav, the older brother, Esav, Yavoid, will worship Esav, Tzoyer, a Jew. Says Moshe Dovid Valle, there's Italian in the Torah. There are words in the Torah written in Italian. I said, where? Any Kohanim? No Kohanim here. That's not a good question to ask in the Beis Olam. But we know that Kohanim, when they make a bracha, they say, Bracha Hashem l'kenim lachem, asher k'deshanu b'tzoisav, asher k'deshanu b'kdushasai shel Aharon. Hashem sanctify them with the Kedush of Aaron. Never when we make a bracha do we say anything other than Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvaysav. Why do Kohanim say Asher Kiddushanu b'kedusha shel Aharon v'tzivanu levarech es Ama Yisrael b'ahava? Why is the word b'ahava in the bracha? Why don't you say Al netilas lulav b'ahava, Al netilas yadayim b'ahava? Why brachas Kohanim b'ahava? Says Moshe Dovid Valle, it says in the Torah the Kohanim have to bless the people. Emor lahem. Emor. Rabbi Kruger, how do you say love in Italian? Amore. Emor lahem. With love. That the Kohanim were commanded to bless the people. Emora. With love. Therefore, part of the mitzvah d'oraisa, if a Kohen says brachas Kohanim, and it's not bi'ahava, nothing. Where does it come from? Emor. Part of the Torah. There were Italian origins in the Torah. One more. Moshe Rabbeinu is told, Shlach yadcha ve'echaz b'znavai. Stick out your hand and grab the tail of what? The nachash. What's the tail of the nachash? The last letter of the nachash is shin. Moshe Rabbeinu is told to use his yad. What happens when you combine yud, yad, with a shin? Shakai. From here we learn, when you have problems with misa, with the nachash, you combine yud, dalid, and shin, shakai. That's why, says Rav Moshe Dovid Valle, Yoshev b'seiser elyon b'tzel shakai yislainan. That's the source, that's the root of how shakai is mevatel misa. Zchusa yogin aleinu b'al kol Yisrael.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.